Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today our friend VGman94 says, "Hi Mr. Dewey, I am curious what equipment you use for your channel. What camera, mic, and other accessories do you use, and why did you choose them? If that's all right to ask, okay, sure. Right now I'm recording this video on an iPhone 10. Yep, an iPhone 10. And I've got that plugged into a convertible condenser slash telescopic microphone. I've got a what do you call this, one of these wind screens in front of the microphone, and I've got my microphone plugged into a F4 something or other. What is the brand of this? It's a mixer, so I can plug a few different mics into it. I've got it set up in my home studio. It's set up for podcasts with multiple people, which is why I have it plugged into the mixer. What else? And yeah, man, most of my YouTube videos, the most popular ones, were actually recorded on an iPhone 4 with no external microphone whatsoever. Yep, a handheld iPhone 4. So if you are wondering, how do I get a really popular channel? What equipment do I need to use? Use whatever equipment is at your disposal. That's what I did, man. That's what I did. One thing that making a bunch of videos on YouTube has taught me is that the quality of your equipment, that's great if the quality of your content is actually interesting to people. Notice I said interesting to people rather than good, because there's a lot of good stuff out there that most people are not that interested in. As far as martial arts goes, man, this is never more true than on YouTube. Some of the best coaches on planet Earth have YouTube videos which are criminally underviewed, whereas rank amateurs have videos with millions and millions of followers. It's kind of nuts. But real recognizes real. So if you are worried, what equipment should I get for my YouTube channel that I'm conceptually making in my mind? Just make it now. Whatever you have, do it. Why do I use the equipment that I use? Because I have it. Because it was readily accessible. Because it was inexpensive. Recording with an iPhone, for example, it was an old used iPhone 4 on top of that. But it was the first time in my life that I owned an HD camera. And it's a unique point in history where most people have a high-definition camera in their pocket available at all times. That is so fascinating to me. Man, that is so fascinating. I have a degree, a university degree, in modern dance. Some of you might know that already. I talk about it from time to time on this channel. And back then, I did not have access to a camera. Period. Man, that would have been game-changing to have an iPhone, a smartphone, a high-definition camera in your pocket, that big, thinner than a deck of cards, that you can carry around with you anywhere and just pull out and film everything. Oh man, that would have been game-changing. It is shocking to me how we were able to do it back then, how the dance majors were able to come up with these complex, lengthy sequences of choreography and remember them. Because there's no great system of movement notation. I mean, there's Le Bon notation, but that sucks, let's be honest. It is tedious to learn. Nobody knows it, man. Nobody knows how to read it except a handful of nerds out there. And yeah, relying on just your memory is quite difficult. Relying on a group memory is easier. But if we had a camera we could have pulled out and been like, yeah, this part was like that part was like that, man, it would have solved so many problems and sped up the process. So I'm in some ways quite jealous of kids these days who are studying dance and martial arts and things like that with these little eye gizmos, little smartphones in their pockets, where they can take these high quality, full color, full motion, 60 frames per second, 360 frame per second slow motion videos with all kinds of features that major motion pictures didn't have 10 years ago. And you got that in your pocket as a basic life accessory that you can't seem to live without, man. I feel like I'm telling old man stories. When I was your age, we walked uphill through the snow, barefoot with broken glass in it, with wild bobcats chasing us all the way, both ways to school, and then when we got home, we had to work 17 hours. Well, yeah, man. But when I was your age, things were different, and we liked it. But there are a lot of valuable lessons you can learn from adversity, from not having the greatest equipment out there. Yeah, man. It teaches you self-reliance in some very unique ways. So whatever equipment you have on hand, if you have the crappiest camera, if you have an old, outdated phone with a camera on it, start making YouTube videos with that. Why? Because it'll teach you how to make videos. It'll teach you a lot about the process. It'll teach you about making something interesting. It'll teach you what's interesting to an audience, if that's your goal, and it'll teach you about what's interesting to you, which I find is much, much more important than trying to pander to the people. Pander to this person, to you, man. Because there's a group of nerds out there on the internet who like what you like, and they won't find you unless you express yourself honestly. Thanks for the question. If you have other questions about martial arts or YouTube or life or whatever, please leave them in the comments down below or email me at ramseydewey@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.